So I live really close to the Unadilla Motocross Track, and any of you that are familiar with or enjoy motocross, I'm sure you're familiar with that name. It's quite interesting living in the community near the racetrack there. There's only a couple weekends out of the year where it's real busy. So if you can see this, DOT put this up, heavy traffic possible Friday through Sunday. Now this is Route 8, it runs north and south. So we're going north into the village of New Berlin, and then the track is a few miles further north, right on State Highway 8, this road. You know, right now it's a really family-friendly event, you know. It's really great, it's a good time, but it wasn't always like that. When I was a kid back in the 70s, I mean, if you lived local here, you didn't let your kids out on that weekend because it was it could get pretty rough everywhere. The racetrack wasn't a place that you wanted to be at night with children. I mean, you know, the drinking, the partying, which is fine, but at times it got violent. I've heard some crazy stories back then, you know, and I can remember as a kid constantly hearing about vehicles being torched, fights breaking out, ambulances being dispatched to the track, not over, you know, the motorcycle racing, but over people fighting and getting hurt, getting drunk and getting hurt. So it was a pretty intense place to be, you know, back in those early days. It got so bad they actually closed down camping on that property. It used to be normal. You bought a pass and you could camp there. There was all kinds of room. But it just got so bad, they actually closed camping down and only allowed entrance to the races while the races were going on. And at one time, I think they even, for a year or two, they might have even prohibited bringing your own alcohol onto the property. And I remember those few years where they closed down camping. Of course, there's really the closest hotel around here is about 8 or 10 miles away, and that's just one little hotel. You know, you got to go 30 miles or more really to get hotels. So, you know, the people would come in for the weekend and they would be looking for places to just set up and stay. And, you know, of course, there is a couple campgrounds and stuff around, but all of a sudden, all that problems of those early days shifted to outside the racetrack, you know, Friday night, Saturday night. And it got so bad where people had to tape off their property entrances and stuff like that because people would just pull in. You know, this is rural area. People would just pull in and think they could just camp. One year, my uncle noticed, heard some people on his property at night, and he went down there, and sure enough, it was, you know, they had a camper and tents, and there was motocross people, and they were just wanted a place to stay. And my uncle was like, hey, you know, just please respect the property and leave it clean. Don't leave a mess, and you're more than welcome to stay. And that's how a lot of people are, actually, you know, but you always have those few that will ruin it for everyone. But anyway, that's back then, you know, when I was a kid. Fast forward now, it's a great event. Bring the whole family. Yeah, if you're into motocross. So this obviously is the single busiest weekend of the entire year for this little village here of New Berlin. This is a great little village too, by the way. I grew up here in this village. When I got older, moved away for a little while, but ended up moving back here and raising my kids here. But you can see some traffic heading south now. These are definitely, most of which are motocross traffic. Oh yeah, you can see all the campers up ahead here. They're definitely from the racetrack. And of course, every kind of motorcycle imaginable, from cruisers to sport bikes, adventure bikes, dual sports. I've seen them all. Some of them in big groups of 10, 12 or more. Yeah, some really nice rigs heading south. This is not the main bulk of traffic. Beautiful country to ride, beautiful day to be riding. Now this is the Unadilla River Valley. You can see the river maybe right over there. It runs from around Sydney, New York to all the way past the racetrack up here, so maybe 20-30 miles or so. But anyway, it's a long river valley, and it's just beautiful riding. And you can see the flashing up here for trucks. That's not for the raceway. That's actually for the Chobani dairy plant up here. If you're familiar with Chobani yogurt and their other products, the Chobani plant is right up here. And there's the plant down there. Be prepared to stop. Slow traffic ahead, yeah. Oh yeah, some big rigs. Oh, camping. So this is the south end of the racetrack, and yeah, this looks like where all the camping is. Camping entrance only, so this isn't the entrance to the racetrack. But oh yeah, they're all clearing out now. Okay. Yeah, because this was right full last night. And you can't really see the track from the road. It's kind of over this knoll up here. But you can see this is probably reserved over here for a lot of the racers. And I think they have like pits up further. Some more parking over there. So there's a lot of pedestrian traffic across this road. I think the main entrance is, maybe we passed it, yeah, we passed the actual entrance, but that's it. Races are over. Okay, so must be the bulk of the main traffic already went through. I didn't realize that. So we'll just pull in up here. This is a great little diner, the Deer Path. Most of these little diners have been around for 50 more years. We're probably gonna get kind of into some traffic going back south. Shouldn't be too bad. It looks like most of the people have cleared out already. That's kind of surprising. Definitely makes for an interesting weekend if you live local here. That's for sure. I'll just check, see if this guy's okay. How you doing? You all good?
Yeah, it's pretty good anyway.
Gotcha, all right. You bet. There's some nice rigs going by. All right, later. I mean, so all in all, I mean, having the racetrack here in this tiny little rural community is certainly an asset. I mean, you know, the races that they do there definitely does bring, you know, some income into the small businesses and you know, the little shops and things like that in the area. Now, I was hoping to catch the main bulk of traffic as it was coming out, because it's pretty crazy. But this didn't seem bad at all. Now, I could tell by looking over all the parking areas and camping areas that it was full. So it's not like, you know, they didn't have a big turnout. They always sell out, you know, there. There's always a huge crowd. And it's weird because not a lot of locals go to it either. It's just kind of one of those weird things. Yeah, as I said, this is just a great little village. Look at the pictures up here on the telephone poles. These are all veterans that have passed away that live in the community. Look at this. Now, what other community do you know that would do that? Every summer these go up. and that one is my father. Little pizza place. That family immigrated directly right from Italy. They ended up here in this tiny little village when I was let's see, 12 years old, so that would have been like 1982, and it's still run by the same family, but the original founder, Frank, who originally opened it in 1982, still works there every day. Amazing family, amazing restaurant. There's our new fire department. Well, that's about it, folks. That's kind of life in the small community near the racetrack. Again, this was a small village of New Berlin, New York, and that's in Shenango County. We call it upstate New York. You know, people who live up in the Adirondacks wouldn't call this upstate, but it's upstate. It's nowhere near the city, so therefore we call it upstate. So I should just take a second here and just thank everyone that came along for the ride with me today. As you probably noticed, I'm currently riding the SCL 500 that I just acquired, but I've already got well over 1,000 miles on this, and I really wanted to do a review at 1,000 miles, so it's going to be 1,000 mile plus review. But I've got some other footage and stuff that I'm putting together, and I'm going to have another video out talking more about this sweet little bike. So keep an eye out for that. But until then, folks, as always, be safe.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh, don't let it slip away. Time that you walked out that door, tell me what you're waiting for. Day. It's a beautiful day. Oh yeah, I know there's gonna be days when it's gonna be hard for you. Let's go, 'cause I know a place